There's apparently a scrapped Spongebob episode that was supposed to go on for the Halloween specials in Nickelodeon. It was unknown which year it was supposed to air, however, due to speculations, Viacom didn't allow them to air the special episode as it contained copyrighted material by adding parodic scenes with them. For the episode itself, there's little evidence to find this episode besides a few storyboard pictures and screenshots found by an employee himself who's unwilling to show anyone but some lucky individuals. Certain individuals had interviewed this employee, and the employee was open enough to give answers. He said that he claimed that the episode's name was Thunderland. The special's hypnosis had a simple premise. SpongeBob and Patrick decided to go and visit Sandy's house after their entire day is drained from work and boredom. Sandy allowed the little goofballs in, and the squirrel is doing an experiment with wires and her television. When the Sponge and Star had screwed up the experiment, Sandy, Patrick, and SpongeBob are sucked into Sandy's favorite TV show called Thunderland. The employee had declared that they had finished the storyboard in writing, but when it was pitched to Nickelodeon, there were some issues from copyrighted material in explaining that the voice actors had never heard of the unfinished episode. He had also mentioned that once the idea was scrapped, one of the people had to keep the source, which was himself that kept the special, including the script, storyboards, and the concept art. According to the interview by a fan, he was genuinely kind enough to explain what happens in the story. In the beginning of the tale, SpongeBob and Patrick are drained from their daily life, SpongeBob working at the Krusty Krab, and Patrick waiting for SpongeBob throughout the day, thus making them go to Sandy's house. Meanwhile, in Sandy's house, the squirrel is messing around the wires and cords as one tear dropped down her own face, staring at the television screen. During this, Sandy is caught off guard when she hears the laughter of the duo outside. One of them nearly knocks over a tool that Sandy needs to proceed with her experiment. Out of rage, the squirrel tells the boys to come inside and to prevent any more trouble. When she was done conducting the experiment, Sandy got distracted by the opening of her favorite show, Thunderland. This brings in SpongeBob and Patrick with their drinks, amazed by the show's opening, only for one of the duo to spill their drinks on the wire, making the trio zapped and trapped inside the show itself. The universe gave a monochrome color, indicating the main protagonist that entered the show. It was nothing but shades of gray and black. The bedroom looked typically normal, until Sandy had analyzed the room further and recognized which character belonged here. Startled by the door creaking, Sandy drags the boys behind a dollhouse and watched the individual walk inside the room. There is no dialogue for the girl that came inside, beside a sigh. Straight black hair was long to her hips, wearing a trench coat, pants, and boots. The girl is revealed to be a human, slumping onto the bed with tired eyes. Out of confusion, SpongeBob curiously asks Sandy about the girl. As a fanatic fan, Sandy exclaims that her name is Marine, telling her that she is one of the main characters of the Thunderland show. After having a tour around the house, the goofball said it was a nice location, but they began to pester Sandy if there was a way back home to Bikini Bottom, which brings them to focus on the plot, finding a way back to Bikini Bottom. During this, the protagonist must find mechanics to prepare a machine that'll transport them back to Bikini Bottom. Most of the special had featured the trio following Marine, as the locations were certainly mechanisms are supposed to be found. The special world ended in a gleeful way as the trio managed to find a way home. Finishing the interview with the employee, there was always a question that had always confused the interviewers. What exactly happened to Marine? The employee didn't give an answer straight away. She wanted the people to speculate what happened to her at the end of the episode. According to one interviewer, he interviewed the woman and had a look at the storyboards. The employee had told him about certain skits that SpongeBob and his friends must go through, including trying to get past a Cthulhu humanoid being in Maria's home and stealing a ruby from a shark. There's a catch to these skits. The scene before the crew tries to get out of Marine's home, the Cthulhu humanoid being is seen near a table sobbing, and in the storyboard art, there is a feminine shadow in another room. This isn't Marine, as the figure is quite tall. Meanwhile, in the other scene, the one stealing the ruby from the shark has a feminine touch to it, and viewing the style of outfit in the interviewer's perspective looked like a teacher. It was proven worse, as once the trio began to leave with the ruby, there's a smack in the background with two figures. One obviously being a shark, and the other obviously a silhouette of a girl. Mentioned by another interview, There's supposed to be a normal male character supporting Marine as well. As a matter of fact, most of the men in the universe is deemed normal. The obstacles and villains seen in the storyboards and concept art had resembled women. The disturbing part of this theory would be found in the dialogue, especially with the one following below, expressing the emotions Marine could possibly be experiencing throughout the ordeal. Marine opens up the door and lays on her bed with a glum expression. Marine, looking at her wrist. If this day isn't going to have rainbows already. Sandy, SpongeBob, and Patrick peek out the music box. SpongeBob whispers, Sandy, have you tried asking her for anything yet? Sandy shushes SpongeBob. No, barnacle head. Would she believe a rodent could make things better? I'll drive her nuts. She's cut off by Patrick babbling. Hey, do you know where the bathroom is? Sandy and SpongeBob cover Patrick's mouth. Marine, mumbling. Bathroom? Do they have candy in there? SpongeBob rubs his chin. I guess she's a bit of a talker, snaps his fingers. Maybe we could find the mechanic. What do you think, Sandy? Sandy. I'm not sure, Barnacle Head. Not sure. SpongeBob. I'll try. Marine! Do you have a pointy metal thing we could use? Sandy. It's a screw. Marine, confused. Metal thing? No, wait, no, it'd be too messy. SpongeBob. We can clean it up after. He smiles. Marine. It'll still be the same. Those pests will come in. Sandy begins to stress and drags SpongeBob and Patrick inside the music box. Sandy shouts, Anything else, Marine? Marine stands up and opens her drawer, revealing a spatula, wielding it like a weapon. Her hair begins to curl up as her eyes are growing twitchy. Sandy shuts the music box and waits inside. Marine, growling, What's with these damn pests? Slashes the lamp with the past spatula, making it break into pieces. Marine, Every day they come out like flies and lay their maggots around me. Why me? Throws a pillow across the room. Sandy, SpongeBob, and Patrick try to escape from the music box. Marine, walking around the room, stomping. What is it? No, dude, don't. You don't need to go. Unlike me. Getting more unsettled, Sandy, SpongeBob, and Patrick attempt sneaking through the room door, only to be shut by Marine. A shot of Marine's angered expression is seen on the screen. The trio panic and run around the room like chickens. Maria is on her knees, pulling up a sleeve as a spatula is out of her mouth. I don't care. Those flies are going to get swatted today. Sandy. I'm sorry. Karate chops behind Marine's back, bringing common sense back to her. Marine realizes the destruction she made in her room and she begins to tear up. Marine. No. Did I do this? No, Patrick tugs on Sandy's shoulder. Is she okay? Marine drops the spatula and runs out of the room, leaving the trio with the spatula to work with. This is the last we've heard from Marine. At the end of the story, before the trio manage to find a way back to Bikini Bottom, Sandy is seen at the edge of a bridge. SpongeBob and Patrick begin to accompany her, and they return home happily. In the storyboard, there's a plop in the water. The smallest detail can make a big deal of what happened to Marie. Looking at the theory, individuals suggest that copyrighted material wasn't the only reason why this special never premiered. Dark themes were a part of it as well. Overall, the theory suggested one thing. Maria couldn't swim with the fishes.